again.
Welcome back to the Reverbium podcast. Shaun said he's not ready, but as myself, Jimmy, I am ready. So Shaun, do you want to change your mind?
I'm still not ready.
He's still not ready. Okay. We're just to talk about the next few podcasts. Me and Shaun are both going to be a little busy, so we're going to try and keep these shorter than usual. But we say this all the time, and it never happens. So we'll see how this works out. But we're going to try and keep them to one question sort of things or one piece of news and then talk about that rather than being so broad. So the first topic, or the topic for this podcast, for this week's podcast, is box office football, or the Sky Sports pay-per-views that have been going around for £15. And I know by now they should have been scrapped, or they're going to be scrapped. I don't know exactly the date, or that I know they said they were going to be scrapping them and that they're going to be available elsewhere, and we'll talk about that. But we wanted to talk about
You'd think that'd be information you'd have researched before we started, wouldn't you?
Yeah, sure. It's not like we came up with this topic literally before we started recording. Funnily enough, I do have a page up with all the details, or as much of the details I can gather. So, let's just get started then. What is your opinion on box office football as a whole? Go on, Shaun.
Fuck, they've got rid of it. Jesus Christ.
We have touched on this before.
Yeah, I was going to say, we mentioned it before, that it's just a scam, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, if there's one where there's obviously an argument that you can say that it's actually cheaper than like going to every game, but at the end of the day, going to the game is completely different, and when you're already
you don't get that atmosphere at home.
Exactly, and you're not paying so much money and everything, or you're paying a lot already just to watch some of the games, and then just because you want to watch one specific one, you then have to pay a lot more. It's just it's stupid. It's awful.
Yeah,
the worst thing they've ever done.
Well, I think they all tended to be around $14.99, something like that. And BT and Sky are both guilty, I'm pretty sure. BT were doing it as well, weren't they?
Yes, both were.
They're not getting away with it. I know we said we hate Sky, but we hate BT now as well. But they're scrapping that. It didn't go down well, and I'm sure they weren't making the profits they expected to make from it. So obviously they've decided to ditch it, and I'm pretty sure both, I think Amazon and somewhere else were picking it up, but I don't see it on here, so I'm gonna just assume it was Amazon, but I'll look it up after while we're talking. But it's just good they're getting rid of it, right? It would have done more harm than good in a year or a couple years where we've already just ranted about VAR, all these rule changes like the handball rule, just to bring in something else to turn people away from football. It's like they really want to kill the game, but they've seen the light in this case. And they also, I think I saw, they're trying to push for the offside cameras for VAR. I don't know if they want better picture quality, so to have it in line or something, or something like that, but they're trying to do that. So I thought I'd mention that here in this podcast right now.
Sticking to one question, but you've immediately
it's relevant. It's relevant, and it was a 2-second thing. I'm done with that now. Yeah.
No, I want to carry on that bit of conversation.
Okay, go on.
You've screwed it out. No, I don't really.
Right,
It's just good, isn't it? It's what we said before in another one, that they, the VAR one, that it was awful, that the camera angles they were using, that you really can't tell, and that something needed to be done about it.
Yeah. What do you think of them scrapping it, to be honest? Like, what's your real honest opinion on them scrapping it and moving it to Amazon?
So obviously happy that they've done it, but I think they were kind of forced into doing it, because I'm assuming that they're expecting to have made a lot more money from it, and that people would be, they probably saw it as a thing of, because people see it as a good thing because they can see every single game, when it just went the complete opposite way and massively backfired. They probably, obviously, I'm assuming they would have to have paid a lot more money to get the rights to it, and they probably weren't making the money back from it because people just weren't paying for it and they were finding other ways to watch the games.
Yeah.
So I think their hand may have been forced a bit.
I'm going to go back. It's not just Amazon, it is BBC as well. Some of the games will be broadcast on the BBC. And I think they said, I don't know if the first game to do that will be Fulham's game against Everton on the 22nd of November. That's what this website says here. So take that with a grain of salt. It is the BBC website. It might be the first BBC game will be broadcast.
So everything is kind of subject to change with football games anyway, because they quite often or before have done late changes to kick-off times and days and stuff where it fits in with clubs in other competitions, so it still may change.
Yeah. Well, the original box office thing was introduced in October. That it was a way to try and make money off people, because obviously they can't get ticket sales, so why not just scrounge it off them while they're sitting at home? Why not rob them blind? And I think now they've had no choice. Here we are, we're sitting here right now, and we've got kind of what we wanted, so we can't complain anymore. But it's ridiculous. Like, you can't go around charging, not to like put any team in their place or whatever, but you can't go around charging £15 for Brighton versus Crystal Palace, can you? It's not a big money match.
Why not? They're two great teams, they are.
No, I'm not saying they're bad teams at all, but I'm saying you can't, in your right mind, and the only game that would even be worth that much is one of the top 6 games, or like a big rivalry or something, like a massive rivalry, like the Manchester Derby.
But even then,
or
a lot
Merseyside.
of people still wouldn't want to pay that much.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. You couldn't make that much. But if you were going to pick a game to put that much, it would have to be a big game like that. And even then, it's just too much. But yeah, it's just, football's a mess. Football's an entire mess. What can we really say other than that? We've had the same discussions with VAR. We've had the same discussions with Project Big Picture in the Europe League. It's just, every single little thing that comes out about football is negative now. We've got some time to kill here, Shaun, so I'm going to ramble on a little bit about football related things. I hope you don't mind me going off topic here.
No problem. You're the one that said you were going to, but if you would now want to change it 2 minutes
no.
however long it's been.
No. It's we're 8 minutes in.
It's technically your podcast, so
I'm gonna extend it across to outline some of the bad things about football as a whole. A lot of it.
We could also talk about the discussion that came up after the Liverpool Man City game from the managers about the choice at the start of the season to not have 5 substitutes like there were at the end of the season.
Yes, yeah.
Because as we can see now, especially for my beloved Liverpool, we're having a bit of a tough time with injuries at the moment.
I am actually going to suggest we do another podcast after this to do with something else I came up with, but I'll discuss that with you after. But yeah, like you said, there's a lot of things wrong with football right now. Box office was one of them. We've erased that. What can you say? We're happy about that, aren't we, Shaun? Are you happy about that?
Of course.
There's nothing bad about this situation at all. Obviously, a lot of people would like to be at the games if they can afford it or afford to travel. But
it's not affording; it's allowed to.
Allowed to, yeah. No, but that's what I'm saying. If we were in different circumstances, obviously that would be the preferred method. But for now, we got what we wanted, and we're happy with that. And yeah, that, like I said, short podcasts. We're going to keep these 10 minutes. We're going to try and keep around 10 minutes. Going to try and keep them this level for the next couple of weeks or 3 or so weeks, and then we'll get back to maybe doing some longer ones. But yeah, that's all we have to say for today. Say goodbye, Shaun.
No, I don't want to leave. I don't want it to be over.
You don't,
I
it's
never
never
want
a,
this to be over.
Don't worry, Shaun. We've got another 3 podcasts to record after this anyway. You're
Shh,
right.
they don't know that.
Alright.
If you don't share this, it's going to be over, and then I'll cry. So
Like, subscribe,
please don't let this be
share,
over.
or Shaun will cry.